Welcome to the Rogers Kakasungura YouTube channel. A big thank you for the continuous support you are giving this platform. If you're watching this, kindly make sure you click the subscribe button and remember to turn on your notification bell, because that is one of the ways you can be able to support this platform so that we can be able to grow together. Aisha Jumwa has been dealt a blow by the courts as the Kenya Roads Board chairperson. I was one of those people asked many questions on how Aisha Jumwa, who has zero understanding on what engineering means, I questioned on how she was going to engage the engineers on matters road construction. But at that time, it was political and nobody was willing to sit and reason with me. I am happy today that the courts have spoken clearly and loud that the appointment was 100% unconstitutional. The High Court has today nullified her appointment. She was the former cabinet secretary, and after she was fired by William Ruto, she was given a bond, and that bond didn't even go well with her, because I personally remember some engineers protesting appointment to the Kenya Roads Board, and she was appointed as the chairperson. The ruling says that the appointment violated the Constitution and the statutory requirements. The judgment in my possession that has been delivered by Justice Bahati Mwamunye. The court has found that Jumwa's appointment was made without demonstrable compliance with Section 7 of the Kenya Roads Board Act, in the violation of Articles 10, 47 and 232 of the Constitution, which govern transparency, accountability, and fair administrative action in public appointments. The judge was of the view, or was of the decision, that the appointment process was I don't know how you pronounce this, VIRES. These are court jargons. So I'm at liberty to make mistakes, so please understand. Ultra vires or via, I don't know how you pronounce it, but I hope you've heard it. VIRES. Those who have gone to a law class, I hope you can be able to comprehend it correctly. Procedurally infirm and constitutionally unsustainable, adding that publication through a gazette notice could not legitimize an unlawful process. Let me read part of the court's decision. The resultant appointment was therefore unconstitutional, unlawful, null and void ab initio. INITIO. I don't know what that means, but I hope you've got it. The judge said, the courts also ordered to quash a gazette notice number 384 dated January 16th, 2025, and Gazette Notice number 395 dated January 17th, 2025, insofar as they related to Jumwa's appointment as chairperson of the board. Let me read a section of the court's document. It will not be reasonable or proportionate to quash all actions and decisions undertaken by the first respondent without knowing the status, nature, and scope of those actions. The court directed that any fresh appointment process to such positions must strictly comply with the Kenya Roads Board Act and constitutional principles governing the public appointment, including the legality, transparency, accountability, inclusivity, and procedural fairness. The case, however, you remember it was filed by activist Francis Owino, who challenged the appointment. I also challenged the appointment. Ladies and gentlemen, Kenya, we are struggling because professionals have been left out in such appointments. You know, serious institutions like parastatus require that the person appointed have the knowledge of that environment. Because you can't blindly, out of the blues, out of the blues, there is an outbreak of flu. I don't know if it's COVID-19 that is emerging again, but I'm sure even where you are consistently coughing and you're trying to battle it with some of the traditional remedies like lemon, hot water, and other treatments. So I am not exceptional. I'm also a human being. Some people think journalists don't get sick. Yeah? Now, Kenya, as I said, we are ailing or we are performing poorly because the appointments are done based on political allegiance and not competitive applications. The positions that are supposed to work for the people are politically done without considering if this person has the capacity to perform in the office that he or she has been appointed. That is why we are saying, you know, William Ruto came into power to award cronies. Yeah? He came to power to make sure that cronies who supported him, whether they qualify or not, are getting space in government to loot and eat. That is why we must begin a process of uprooting such bad culture so that our country can prosper. God bless you. See you in the next episode. Asanteni sana.